The sun was barely up over Enugu when the market women started calling prices. Yet in one quiet compound at the edge of the city, a girl stood before a cracked mirror, pressing her palm to her left eye. "Why me?" she whispered. From a distance, anyone could see that Ella was beautiful. Smooth brown skin, small oval face, and long lashes. But her left eye tilted inwards slightly, a squint that had made her life a constant battle. Today was supposed to be her day. Today she would speak at her school's debate competition, the biggest one in the state. Yet her stomach knotted, not from stage fright, but from the thought of laughter. Ella had been mocked since she could remember. Children in the compound called her Cross-Eye or Four Eyes. Some even ran when she approached, pretending to be scared. Her mother, Ruth, always knelt beside her at night and said, "Ella, God does not make mistakes. There's a plan for you." But Ella found it hard to believe. Teachers avoided picking her for class presentations. Girls at school whispered when she walked past. Even boys who once played with her began to treat her like a ghost. At 14, something happened that almost broke her spirit. During the school's end-of-year party, the MC invited every girl to the stage for a beauty parade. When Ella stepped forward, the audience started laughing and clapping mockingly. One boy yelled, "She can't even see straight." Tears burned her eyes, but she didn't run. She stood still, holding her head high until the parade ended. That night she made a vow. "I will never hide again. They will know my name." By the time Ella turned 16, she was one of the brightest students in her class. She could speak English better than many teachers, and she read every book she could find, yet she never once volunteered to stand in front of an audience. One afternoon, the principal called her into his office. "Ella," he said, "the state schools debate is coming. We need a strong voice. I've read your essays. You're the best. Will you represent us?" Her heart jumped. She wanted to say no, but she remembered her vow. "Yes, sir," she said, though her voice trembled. In the weeks before the debate, Ella practiced every night. Her little brother David pretended to be the audience while she spoke, but someone was watching. Her classmate Brenda, tall, light-skinned, always with perfect braids, had wanted that spot. She began whispering to other students, "Do you know they picked a cross-eyed girl to represent us? We will be disgraced." Ella didn't know about the gossip until the morning of the competition. As she sat under a tree rehearsing, two girls passed by and snickered. "She thinks she's a star," one said loudly. "She can't even look straight." For the first time in months, Ella felt the old fear creeping back. She almost stood up to run home, but then she remembered her mother's voice. "God does not make mistakes." She took a deep breath. "No," she whispered, "I won't give them that joy." The hall was full. State officials, teachers and students packed every seat. On stage sat three judges with serious faces. Ella's school was last to present. As she walked to the podium, she heard murmurs ripple through the audience. Someone chuckled. Another whispered, "Is this a joke?" Her knees shook. She could feel Brenda's eyes drilling into her from the front row. The moderator announced, "Next speaker, Ella Johnson from Victory High School." For a heartbeat, the hall was silent. Ella lifted her chin, her left eye still tilted inward, but her right eye burned with determination. She began softly, almost like a prayer. "Ladies and gentlemen, they told me I could not stand here." Her voice gained strength. "But I stand here to prove them wrong." She spoke about her topic, the power of resilience in today's youth, with passion. She quoted facts, told stories, even cracked a small joke. The hall grew quiet. People leaned forward. Then she paused, looked at the crowd and said, "Some of you may already have judged me before I spoke, maybe because of how I look. But let today be a lesson. Never measure a person's worth by what you see on the outside." The hall erupted in applause. Even the judges smiled. When the results were announced, tension filled the room. Third place went to another school. Second place went to a boy from Federal College. First place... Pause. The MC opened the envelope slowly. Brenda, seated in the front, crossed her arms, smirking. First place, Ella Johnson of Victory High School. For a moment, Ella couldn't move. The hall thundered with claps and cheers. A few students even stood shouting her name. As she walked up to receive her medal, she saw Brenda's face, pale, lips pressed tight. But something unexpected happened. Brenda stood up, walked over and hugged her. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "You were amazing." The state newspaper ran a story the next day. Girl born with squint eye wins state debate. Photos of Ella smiling with her medal spread across social media. Messages poured in from strangers. Universities reached out. One even offered her a scholarship for public speaking. But Ella's favourite moment came weeks later when a small boy from another school wrote to her, "They laugh at me because I limp, but when I saw you win, I knew I can also win." Ella folded the letter and placed it under her pillow. For the first time in years, she looked at the mirror and smiled, not to check her eyes, but to see the girl who refused to give up. Moral of the story: never let other people's judgment define your future. The very thing they mock today can become your badge of honor tomorrow.